Alright guys, welcome back to Altered Mustangs. This is Jackie and I'm Steve. And recently we went to Motor City Fox Fest. We had an absolutely amazing time there. And it got even better. So, a company reached out to us not long ago. And we were lucky enough to meet up with them at Motor City Fox Fest. And now we're officially sponsored by...
Team UPR.
Team UPR. So we didn't come to this decision lightly, mind you. I mean, everybody wants a sponsor, but I'll say this. For the past 20 years, I've been using UPR parts on my Mustangs. Everything from the Shelby GT500 we used to have, the Swamp Thing, to the Silver Bullet. I've never had anything but positive experiences with these parts, and I've never had a failure. So, I know what it's like to spend your hard-earned money and maybe get something that's subpar, and I wouldn't recommend anything to you guys that would ever be like that. So, Jackie and I have a small channel. We got a lot of Mustangs. We work hard for our money just like you, and we won't ever do that. So UPR set us up with a rear suspension package for Jackie's S197, and we're going to try it out. And you're going to get to see how it performs.
So we're super excited to announce that we're going to be teaming up with UPR and can't wait to get this project started.
Yep.
Or can't wait to get this install started.
You can't wait to get the install started. I'm going to be the one doing it. That's what. Look with your car.
I bet you turn your wrench.
So you guys may have seen the video on Jackie's S197, glass roof car, 42,000 kilometers. It's got 25,000 miles. It has 0 modifications. This thing doesn't even have a K&N air filter in it. Doesn't have a steering wheel cover. It's as stock as it come out of Ford. So as much as I love to put power to everything right away, it's a better idea to take care of your suspension first. So we're going to add some hook to this thing. So it's a 6R80 car, exactly what we wanted. It's pretty controllable at the hole, but when you turn the traction control off, it'll fishtail a little bit, and it'll take off spinning. What I can say about the UPR control arms we're about to install, I had a Shelby GT500 in the past, and bone stock, and you can ask Jackie because I had her grabbing for that passenger door handle quite a few times. When I would go from first to second, that thing would kick out sideways. It would go right or left. It would pick a direction. You'd never know which one until you hit that gear. It had a mind of its own. It was completely crazy. It was almost uncontrollable. And so I put a set of UPR lower control arms, same ones that are going to go in this car, and a set of their lower control arm relocation brackets, and it tamed that car right down. Now, did it stop it from spinning? By no means did it stop it from spinning, but the car tracked straight. It was completely more predictable than it ever was in the past. Added a VFP Gen 2R to it, made 650 horsepower, and it still tracked straight even though it was spinning. So I'm excited to get these on this car. So we've had this glass roof car for a little while, and we're trying to pick a name for it. If you guys could pop it in the comments what you think the name should be. Now, I'm kind of stuck on the Black Pearl, big Pirates of the Caribbean fan. Plus, that ship was nigh uncatchable, fastest ship in the sea. But people have said Black Beauty, Black Stallion. I want to hear your opinion on it. All right, guys, here's everything we got from UPR. These are the control arms that we're installing today, so I wanted to start with these. As you can see, they look quite a bit nicer than the stock piece. I love the color on these. These are the same ones I put on my GT500. They're very solid, they're very light, and they're greasable. Awesome.
You read instructions?
Sometimes. So once you get your car properly supported, we've got a brake cable running through the control arm. There's a clip here that you can take off. And all I'm going to do is pry back on the bracket here. Pull it up and over. That'll get it off. Now we can pull it through there. Just like that. So our front control arm's got an 18mm bolt right here. Alright guys, I'm just reading the UPR's instructions. It says to grease the sides of the bushings before installing the arms, which totally makes sense because you don't want your suspension to bind up. Torque down the control arms to factory specs. When installing lowers, make sure to use the factory spring isolator. We don't have a spring on these control arms, so that's fine. I'm playing with grease. I tend to get this crap all over me. Alright, so one end of our control arm is wider than the other. It's only going to go on one way. So the wider end is going to go in the rear. Damn guys, I really love these S197s. They're very easy to work on. Alright, now that we got the one side started, we'll go ahead and get the other side started. The back hole is out of alignment a little bit. It seemed to have shifted backwards. We're going to pull it back with our strap. Just got a little ratchet strap here. There's a nice little hole in the frame right there. Should do it for us. I torqued the lower control arm bolts to 129 foot-pounds. That was the spec I found online. I found conflicting info though. I did see some people saying that you shouldn't reuse these bolts. I don't know the answer to that. So I've torqued them in place for now because I don't want the car apart, but I think I'm going to grab some new ones. If you guys happen to know the answer to that, whether these bolts are reusable or not, please let me know. I'd love to know. So this side is done. We're going to slap the wheel back on it, get started on the other side. So I got my grease gun here. You always want to wipe this thing off. You never want any rocks or grit stuck in the end of that. You can even give it a slight pump to get anything that might be stuck in there out. I wanted this to be a driveway install project, but if you see my driveway, it's asphalt, so we can't do it out there. In this heat, this thing's liable to sink right into the ground. That's why I did it inside the garage. What do you think of the control arms?
I definitely noticed it feels tighter when you're turning the corners.
I find it's not as mushy. It
feels more
solid and
like,
tight.
yeah, like going in a straight.
Feels more like a sports car now than some just generic mushy.
Oh, my family mobile, my grocery getter.
Yeah, that thing. Note the glass roof, sweetheart. All right, guys, so the installation went super smooth. Other than Jackie took off on me right after the wheel came off. She went and did some gardening. As you can see, the gardens are super nice. Maybe you can't see. That's because she loves the garden. I got stuck doing the install.
We both got dirty one way or another.
Uh-huh. So, so anyway, once the driver's side was done, only took about 15 minutes to get the passenger side done. Super smooth install. As a driveway install, I'd say this is a very easy project. Very easy to do. My first impression, we took the car out down the road. I could feel that it was tighter. Now, you can feel that it's a little bit harder over the bumps. It's nothing harsh. But when you're going to a sports car style of suspension, you're getting rid of those mushy bushings that are in there that are basically your daily driver commuter type stuff. Stuff that comes out the factory because they don't want to hear about ride quality complaints and whatnot. So right away, you could feel it was a little bit harder, but nothing extreme. Now it feels like a sports car. Turning the corners, it felt tighter. And on the launch, which I've looked at the videos, I can't really see it, but this car's always fishtailed a little bit. Now, nothing out of control, but it has fishtailed. After putting these control arms in, it would still fry the tires the same amount, but it was tracking 100% straight, I noticed. But for now, it seems much more controllable and sports car-like and tight to me. I know the guys at UPR were very interested to hear Jackie's opinion on it, so what do you think about it? What did you notice?
So what I noticed right off the hop is as soon as I turned the corners either way, it felt a lot tighter. And going straight down the road, it had more stability. It felt tighter. I did notice a difference right away.
Yeah, so our Mustang went from kind of squishy to sports car-like. So this car rode amazing when we got it. It drove very nice, but you could tell it was more of a Cadillac Buick type feel. Now this thing feels like a sports car. Just to touch on what Jackie and I were saying, we showed you the UPR arms before we installed them. They're big, beefy bushings. They're pretty solid rubber. I'm going to show you what we took out of the 13. I was just looking at this and figured we better show it to you for comparison's sake. See in here, there's an air gap on each side. They're sitting like this. That allows this to go up and down really easy compared to even this side of the control arm. That's going to give you that slop you feel going down the road. And that's why the new control arms feel so much tighter and solid going around a corner, even accelerating. This is designed for comfort. Those are designed for performance. That's my take on it anyway. All right, guys. I'm... All right. Take on, dude, yeah. All right.